Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we are going to learn about the allied angles of any angle theta. The definition of the allied angles is that let theta and theta dash be two angles. So we have angle theta and theta dash, and these two are going to be allied angles if the condition is that let theta and theta dash be two angles such that theta dash can be written as theta plus or minus some multiple of pi by 2. Pi by 2 is the radian form of 90 degrees. Okay, so if you can write theta as theta plus some multiple of 90 or theta minus some multiple of 90, then theta dash is called the allied angle of theta. Okay, for example, to understand this, let us take an example. Suppose we have the angle 315. Now 315 can be written as 270 plus 45. Now 270 can be written as 3 times 90. Okay, 3 times 90 is equal to 270 plus 45. Now you have written this angle 315 as the sum of 45 plus some multiple of 45 into some multiple of 90. Okay, multiple of 90 means the things we get when we multiply 90 by different integers. 3 times 90 is a multiple of 90. 2 times 90 is also a multiple of 90. For example, the table of 90 will give you all the multiples of 90. For example, if you are considering the multiples of 2, then 2, 4, 6, 8, these are all multiple of 2 because these are the number which we get when we multiply 2 by different integers. So we will have two parts in it, the multiple of 90 plus some theta. Now if I consider this as theta dash, this is one angle and this is the second angle. Okay, so I have written theta dash, which is 315 in this case, as a multiple of 90 plus some other angle 45. Then 315 will be called the allied angle of 45. Okay, so let us read the definition again. Let theta and theta dash be two angles. Here we are talking about two angles. Okay, here in this example these are the two angles, theta dash and theta. Let these theta dash and theta be two angles such that one angle is written as theta plus some multiple of 90. This number is called multiple of 90 because 270 is a multiple of 90 because it can be obtained by multiplying 3 to 90. Okay, so if any angle 315, for example, in this case, is written as a sum of multiple of 90 plus 45, then 315 is called the allied angle of 45. Okay, because theta dash is written as a multiple of 90 plus some theta. So let us read the definition again. Let theta and theta dash be two angles such that theta dash can be written as theta plus minus some multiple of 90. This is multiple of 90 plus 45 equals to 315. So this angle theta dash is written as a multiple of 90 plus theta. Okay, theta plus or minus some multiple of 90. This is some multiple of 90. This is theta and this is theta dash. If it happens like this, then these two angles are called allied angles of one another. Let me take one more example. For example, if you take we can take the example example 2 is, let us take 135. Okay, 135, this angle can be written as 180 minus 45. Okay, 180 is a multiple of 90. 2 times 90 is equal to 180. So we have written this 135 as multiple of 90 minus 45 degrees. Okay, so there can be a plus or a minus sign in between them. Then such angles are called allied angles. Okay, 135, this can be written as negative 45 plus 2 times 90. So these two angles are the allied angles. Okay, so such angles 135 is the allied angle of 45 because it can be written as multiple of 90 plus minus 45. Okay, minus 45, it means that if you take this as theta and 45 as theta dash, then we have this expression. Okay, so whenever we have such an expression that we have multiple of 90 minus theta or plus theta, then this angle theta dash and theta are called the allied angles of one another. Okay, there can be plus as well as minus, it does not make any difference. It will be called the multiple the allied angles of theta as long as you have some multiple of 90 added to or subtracted, or theta is subtracted from this multiple of 90. Okay, so these are the examples of allied angles, and the important property about the allied angles, that the purpose why we study these angles is that we can find the trigonometric ratios of the allied angles with the help of the angles that we already know. Suppose that you know the trigonometric ratios of theta. Suppose you know the trigonometric ratios of theta. Okay, then the general form of, first of all, suppose we know the trigonometric ratios of theta. It means we know the sine, cosines, tangent, cotangent, cosecant and secant. These are the trigonometric ratios. Suppose we know that information about theta, that is sine theta we already know. Okay, what is sine theta? We know cos theta, and with the help of these two you know that you can find all the trigonometric ratios. So it means that the trigonometric ratios of theta are known to us. The second thing is that the general definition of, in mathematical form, that you should remember, general definition of allied angles. If you want to write the general definition of the allied angles, then it is written in the form of, if theta dash is equal to some theta plus k times some multiple of k times 90 means some multiple of 90, and k is any element of integer. Okay, it can be -1, +1, -2, -4, negative, it can be 0, and it can be 1, 2, 3. This k can take any integral values. Integers means the negative whole numbers, positive whole numbers and 0. So if you can write theta dash in the form of theta plus some multiple of plus or minus. Okay, it can be any one of the, depending upon the value of k. It is minus when k is negative. Okay, theta can also be negative, but you will get such structure. Then if you get theta dash to be equal to theta plus some multiple of 90. Okay, this k can be negative, so you can get a negative sign over here. This theta can also be negative. Okay, so you can get a negative sign over here also. So the main thing is that you have some angle, whether negative or positive, and you have some multiple of 90 over here. It's added or subtracted from theta. Then theta dash is called the allied angles. Okay, this is the main formula for allied angles. If you can write any angle in this form, then these two angles are called the allied angles. And the main property of the allied angles is that if k here is an odd multiple. Okay, these are the points that you should remember. Number one, case 1 is that suppose you have written theta dash as theta plus k times 90, and if k is odd. Okay, I will tell you how to write theta dash in this form. Suppose you have theta dash written in this form. If k is odd, then trigonometric ratio of theta dash will be equal to co-ratios of theta. Okay, co-ratio means the co-ratio of sine is cosine. Okay, the co-ratio of secant is cosecant, and the co-ratio of tangent is cotangent. Okay, these are called the co-ratio. If you have sine theta, then sine theta and cos theta are called the co-ratio of one another. Similarly, secant and cosecant, cotangent and cotangent, these are called the co-ratios. So if theta is written in this form and you have k is an odd multiple of 90. Okay, over here if k is an odd multiple of 90, then the trigonometric ratios of theta dash can be obtained by finding the co-ratio of theta. Okay, if you know the trigonometric ratio of theta, you can find the trigonometric ratio of theta dash with the help of this property. If k is odd, then the trigonometric ratios of theta dash will be equal to the co-ratio of sine. It means that the sine of theta dash will be equal to plus minus we will decide the sign with the help of the quadrant in which theta dash lies. Okay, this will be discussed in the examples and the questions I will do. Then I will explain this portion. It can be plus or minus depending upon the theta dash, whether theta dash will lie in the first quadrant, the second, the third, or in the fourth. Okay, in that quadrant, first we are going to locate theta dash, and then we are going to see whether sign is positive in that quadrant or not, and with the help of this we are going to decide this sign whether it should be plus or minus. So sign of theta dash will be equal to its co-ratio, will be equal to cos theta. Okay, suppose we have sin theta and cos theta. With the help of this property, if theta dash is written in this form and k comes out to be odd, then sin theta dash will be equal to cos theta. Okay, sin will go to its co-ratio. Similarly, cos theta dash will be equal to sin theta. Okay, if you know the trigonometric ratio of theta, with the help of that you can find the trigonometric ratios of theta dash. Similarly, tangent, if you want to find tangent theta dash, it will be equal to plus minus tangent theta. Okay, so if you know the trigonometric ratios of theta, with the help of that you can find the trigonometric ratios of theta dash if theta dash is an allied angle and if it is written in this form and k is odd. Okay, this is the situation when k is odd. Now what if k is even? As an example of this, you can take let me take as an example, let us take for example, you want to find cos of 315. Okay, 315 can be written as cos of 270 plus 45, and 270 can be written as 3 times 90 plus 45. Now we know 315 is written as 390 plus 45. Okay, so it is an odd multiple of 90. Okay, 315 we have written it as 390 plus 45. Okay, let me write it again. 315 can be written as 3 times 90 plus 45. Now this expression here, theta dash is 315, theta is 45, and k is 3. So here k is odd, so it means cos of 315 will be equal to cos of 3 times 90 plus 45. Okay, and this will be cos, as 315 is obtained by adding odd multiple of pi by 2 to 45, as k is odd in this case. Okay, this is the expression over here. Theta is 45, k is 3. As k is odd, so cos of theta dash will be equal to sine of theta. So cos of 315 will be equal to sine of 45 degrees. Okay, let me write it over here so you can see it easily. You can see cos of 315 is written as 3 times 90 plus 45. Here we have an odd multiple of 90, so cos will change to sine. Okay, cos of theta dash will be equal to sine of theta. We notice sine of theta plus minus. In order to decide whether it will be plus sign or negative sign, we have to see 315, the quadrant of 315. Now 315 is if you calculate, 315 lies in which quadrant? It is 3 times 90 plus 45. Okay, 1 times 90, 2 times 90, 3 times 90, and plus 45 will be an angle over here. Okay, this is 315. Now 315 is in the fourth quadrant, so sine is negative, cos is negative in the fourth quadrant. Therefore, there will be a negative sign. And we notice sine 45 is 1 over under root 2. So its answer will be 1 over under root 2. Okay, so with the help of 45, we found the cos of 315. Because it was an odd multiple, therefore cos will be changed to sine. Okay, and we have put a negative sign because 315 lies in the fourth quadrant. It is 3 times 90 plus 45. We know that one quadrant is equal to 90 degrees. So 1 times 90, 2 times 90, we will reach the second quadrant. 3 times 90, we will reach this axis, and plus 45, it will obviously be in the fourth quadrant, because this whole quadrant is equal to 90. It won't cross this line. It means that 315 is in fourth quadrant. In fourth quadrant, we know that cos is always negative, so we have put a negative sign over here. So this is how you decide the sign, and the rest you decide with the help of this odd and even multiple, whether cause will change to sign or cause will remain cause. Okay, so this is how we do. Now the second condition, the second case is when k is even. Now if k is even, as an example, let me write the point first. The case 2 is that if k is even, then the trigonometric ratios of theta dash will be same as theta. Now if k is even, then the trigonometric ratio of theta dash will be the same as that of theta, except the signs. Okay, we will decide the sign as we did in the previous case. That is, sine of theta dash will be equal to plus minus sine of theta. Cos of theta dash will be equal to plus minus cos of theta, and similarly tangent theta dash will be equal to tangent theta. Cotangent will be equal to cotangent, and so on. Okay, the ratio will remain the same. Sine will go to sine, cos will go to cos, tangent to tangent, cotangent to cotangent, secant to secant, cosecant to cosecant. Okay, and this sign we are going to decide with the help of the quadrant in which theta dash will lie. As an example, let us take the example of for example, if you want to find sine 540, now you can write 540 as sine 540 can be written as 6 times 90 plus, as 6 times 90 is equal to 540, so we can write it as 0 plus 6 times 90. Now it is an even multiple, so sine of 540 will be equal to, here the special angle is the theta. This is equal to 0, and theta dash is 540. Okay, theta is 0, and we have the case even multiple, so sine of 540 will be equal to sine of 0. Okay, and we will decide about the sign, whether it is plus or minus. This, the 540, the angle 540 will lie in which quadrant? It is 6 times 90. Okay, 1 times 90, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, and 6 times 90. This is equal to 6 times 90. So it's sine of 0. Although the sine of 0 is equal to 0, so we don't, in this case we don't need to consider the plus or minus sign. This is a special example. I will give you one more example in which there is the consideration of sign, but here sine 0 is 0, so we are going to just put a 0, not plus, not minus, because 0 is a neutral number. Okay, so in here you don't need it, you don't need to find the plus or minus sign. Let me take one more example of this form. 540 was the exact multiple of 90. Let me take another example. For example, 300. Okay, suppose we want to find secant 300. Now 300 can be written as 360 minus 60 degrees. Okay, and 360 minus 60 is 300. Okay, 360 can be written as 4 times 90 minus 60 degrees. So 300 is written as 4 times 90 minus 60. Now this is an even multiple of 90. So secant of 300 will be equal to secant of 60. Okay, you don't need to look at this whether it is positive or negative. This sign will be determined by the quadrant in which 300 lies. Okay. Now this is even multiple of 90, so secant 300 will be equal to secant 60. Okay, this is theta dash and this is theta. Secant theta dash will be equal to secant theta, because the secant will remain secant, because here k is even. Okay, so secant will remain secant, and this plus minus sign we are going to determine with the help of the quadrant in which 300 lies. Now 300 lies in which quadrant? What will be the quadrant in which 300 lies? Now with the help of this expression you can easily find the quadrant of 300. Okay, this 300 is 4 times 90. Okay, 1 times 90, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times 90 minus 60. Minus 60, it means you are going to subtract something from it. It means that this angle will be 360 minus 60. It will lie in the fourth quadrant. Now in fourth quadrant, secant is positive or negative. We know that in the first quadrant all trigonometric ratios are positive. In the second, only sine and cosecant are positive. In this, only tangent and cotangent are positive. Here, cos and secant are positive. So, secant of 300 will be positive because 300 lies in the fourth quadrant, and in the fourth quadrant, cos and secant are always positive. So, this will be equal to plus secant 60. Now, what is secant 60? We know that cos of 60 is equal to 1 over under root 2. Okay, secant is the reciprocal of this, so secant 60 will be equal to 2 by 1, that is 2. So here we are going to get plus 2. So with the help of secant 60 we found the secant of 300. Okay, 300 was the allied angle of 60. So this is how we find the angles. Okay, 300 was first written in this form. Once you write the angle in this form, if k is even, the sign ratio will not change. Secant will remain secant, cos will remain cos, tangent will remain tangent. Okay, and the next step is you have to find whether this is plus or minus. Okay, and that we are going to find with the help of the quadrant in which 300 lies. You have to locate 300 where it lies, and that also is quite easy. When once you write 300 in this form, it's easy to locate it. So I will tell you in the next video how to write an angle in this form. Okay, in this form. Once you have written angle in this form, the rest is easy. You just have to see whether k is even or odd. You are going to write secant to secant if it is even, and you are going to write secant to cosecant if it is k is odd. Here it was even, so secant remained secant, and plus minus sign will be determined by the quadrant in which 300 lies. Once you write the angle in this form, theta dash in this form, you can easily locate its quadrant. Okay, by just counting the number of 90s minus this can easily be judged. So in the next lecture I am going to tell you how to write theta dash in this form. Okay, and this will be the whole story, and this completes the concept of allied angles and how to find the trigonometric ratios of the allied angle. If theta dash and theta are allied, with the help of the trigonometric ratio of theta, we found the trigonometric ratios of theta dash. Okay, with the help of 60, we already know what is the cos and sine of 60. These are the special angle, 45, 30, angle 90, 270. These are all special angles, and we should know the trigonometric ratios of these by heart. And with the help of 60, we found the trigonometric ratio secant of 300. We knew the secant of 60, and this theory helped us to find the secant of 300. And this is all this is why we study the allied angles. Okay, this is how it's helpful to study this concept.